Were you aware that the death penalty is active in 30 U.S. states today? Although it is not active in Iowa, it is active in states as close as Missouri. The death penalty, also known as capital punishment, is an execution for a crime that the convicted has committed. Capital crimes are things such as first-degree murder, espionage, treason, and rape with bodily harm. The death penalty is a capital punishment that I think that should be enacted in all 50 states today. And I'm here to tell you why I think it is something that should be abolished in 30 states that are so active with it. We will be reviewing the process of the death penalty, statistics of the death penalty, why the whole United States should be inactive with the death penalty, how it affects people, and the cost of the death penalty. To begin, the death penalty is really more of an issue for the United States than it is a help. If you were to review statistics on the death penalty, you will come to a realization that there has been a little over 1,500 people that have been executed since the year of 1976. Among those 1,500 people, 50% are white, 30% are black, 10% are Hispanic, and the other 10% fall into the other category. Considering that only 40% of the United States population is black, 30% that have been executed throughout the death penalty, that makes a big chunk of their population. Although there are very many different races of people that are executed throughout the death penalty, there has only been about 15 women ever to be executed on the death penalty. As of right now, there is a little bit over 2,700 people just sitting on death row waiting to be executed. Next, I will be talking about the process of death row. The process of death row is very long and eerie for sure. Although there is no set length of how long you will be on death row, it's usually a process from anywhere from 5 to some people have even been on it for 30 years. The Death Penalty Information Center informs us that the average time that people sit on death row is 10 years. People that are on death row usually spend 23 hours a day just by themselves in solitary. Although many people that are incarcerated in prison rightfully deserve the punishment, some people have actually been found not guilty. Now I will tell you the story about a man named Cameron Todd Willingham. Cameron Todd Willingham is just one of the many people that have been executed by the death penalty that has later been found not guilty. Nearly 10 years after Cameron Todd Willingham was executed for the arson murder of his 3 daughters, he was found not guilty. This goes to show that some people are actually innocent and we execute them. This is another reason why I think that the death penalty should be abolished. Someone like Cameron didn't ever stand a chance. He was innocent and he got punished for it no matter what. That's something that you can't take back. The damage is already done and you can't take it back in the long run. According to the Death Penalty Information Center, a little bit over 25 people that have been executed have later been found not guilty. That is 25 people's lives that could have been saved if there was no such thing as a death penalty. This goes to show another reason why I think that the death penalty should be abolished for good. Yet another reason why is how inhumane the death penalty is. No matter what anyone says, there's really no humane way to die. I think, according to the New Republic, the 2006 lethal injection of Angel Diaz took about 34 minutes, 2 doses, and was thought to be very, very painful. Other brutal methods include hanging, electrocution, shooting, or beheading. Finally, the death penalty affects our whole society greatly. According to the Death Penalty Information Center, people not have a feeling of closure when someone is executed. Only that small percentage of 2.5 people say that they feel the closure that they need. The other 20.1% said that the execution did not help them get the closure that they needed. They said healing is a process, not an event. Many people argue that seeing the person responsible get executed will give them that sense of closure, while these statistics show otherwise. I think that if most people, do not receive the closure that they need, then why should we be executing them in the first place? Finally, the death penalty is very expensive. Did you know that it actually costs more to execute someone than to imprison them for a lifetime? I know it sounds crazy, but it's true. Millions of dollars cheaper, actually. As the governments are starting to realize this, they are actually thinking about abolishing the death penalty for good in all 50 states. The death penalty cost an average of $1.26 million just for one case, while the non-death penalty cost an average of $740,000 for a lifetime. Although both are pretty pricey, as you can tell, there is a significant difference. Our country could easily be saving millions of dollars yearly, which could add up to trillions in the long run. For example, like a big state like California, that is active with the death penalty, it costs them $140 million per year for the executions that they do. It would only cost them about $12 million just to imprison the inmates for a lifetime. I know it sounds crazy, but it's true. To review, there are just so many different reasons why the death penalty should be abolished in the United States today. Now that we have reviewed the process of the death penalty, the statistics of the death penalty, why I think it should be abolished, the cost of the death penalty, and how it affects people, I really hope that you can get a better understanding on why I think the death penalty should be abolished in the United States for good. The death penalty overall has so many negatives to it. The process can take anywhere from a couple of years to 30. You can't take it back in the long run. It has a great effect on many people, and it costs less to house inmates for a lifetime than it does to execute them. In conclusion, if you are in high hopes that the death penalty will eventually be abolished in the United States, I have a strong feeling that it will. The inhumane nature of the process and the cost is making the government officials consider getting rid of it for good in all 50 states. So, if you want something done about it, raise your voice and just try and make a difference to get it done, because if you try, then there's a greater chance that something will eventually happen.